Welcome. This is Recidiva. I'm sharing a recording of a casual Skyrim playthrough using a mod list I built. My profound thanks to all the mod creators who have made this game a crowdsourced treasure. I hope you enjoy. Magic from the Sky by Irlav Jarl. The ancient Aelids believed that Nirn was composed of 4 basic elements: earth, water, air, and light. And of these 4 elements, they believed the most sublime form of light was starlight. Stars are our links to the plane of Aetherius, the source of all magical power, and therefore the light from the stars is the most potent and exalted of all magical powers. From time to time, fragments of Aetherius fall from the heavens. People know these fragments as shooting stars, and from time to time, such ethereal fragments are found on Nirn. The most common varieties are known as meteoric iron. This metal is prized by armorers and enchanters for its properties in the forging of enchanted weapons and armor. This meteoric iron is also the primary component in Aeliid wells, ancient enchanted artifacts found throughout Cyrodiil. Another rarer form of ethereal fragment is called meteoric glass. It's from such fragments that other rare Aeliid enchanted artifacts are crafted: Welkin stones and Varla stones. Aeliid wells are scattered across Cyrodiil's landscape. Their siting is a mystery. They are not associated with any known Aeliid cities or settlements. It's presumed that in some manner they harvest magical powers from starlight. It's also suggested without evidence or support that they are located at the meeting points of ancient lines of magical power. However, modern arcane arts have discovered no perceptible evidence of such lines of power. Those with magical talents can draw magica from Aeliid wells to restore their own reservoirs of magical power. No ritual or arcane knowledge is necessary, suggesting that these wells were designed to serve persons not skilled in the magical arts. Once drained, the wells replenish again only at magical midnight. Once recharged, they appear to radiate magical power back into the sky, which prompts some to theorize they're also objects with religious or magical ritual significance, perhaps a means of offering magic back to the heavens. Welkin stones, Aldmeris sky stones, heaven stone, literally sky child, are pieces of cut and enchanted meteoric glass, which apparently act as storage devices for magical power. A magical talent can restore his reservoirs of magica from such stones. Alas, the means of restoring power to these stones may have been lost with the Aelids. Currently, these objects simply crumble to dust after they've been used. Great Welkin stones are exceptionally large pieces of enchanted meteoric glass. Scholars believe that at the heart of each ancient Aeliid city, a great Welkin stone was the source of the settlement's magical enchantments. It may be that these great stones were linked to the lesser stones, restoring and maintaining their power. In any case, research into these great Welkin stones is impossible, since all the known Aeliid ruins have been looted of their great stones, and no example of these great stones are known to survive. Another rare enchanted item found in Aeliid ruins is called a Varla stone, Aldmeris starstone. Varla stones are remarkably powerful, enabling untrained users to restore magical energy to any number of enchanted items. Because of their great value and utility, these items are also extremely rare. But since they are small and easily concealed, diligent explorers may still occasionally come across them in any Aeliid ruin. Aeliid wells, Welkin stones, Varla stones. Consider then these marvels of magical enchantment. Are we then to conclude that the Aelids were a superior race in culture? Did they so exceed us in art and craft that they mock the feeble power of Third-era wizards? Never. The Aelids were powerful, yes, and cunning, but they were neither good nor wise, and so they were struck down. Their works have passed from Nirn, save these rare and sparkling treasures. Their ancient cities are dark and empty, save for the grim revenants and restless spirits condemned forever to walk the halls, keeping their melancholy vigils over bones and dust. Magica and Meteorology. Arniel Gain, College of Winterhold, 4E200. Cultures both ancient and modern hold the seasons and weather reflect different aspects of Aedric or Daedric deities. However, the strong correlation between the weather and the solar and lunar cycles has long been established, and there is increasing evidence that its vicissitudes are the necessary product of the landscape, which conspires to heat or cool water. In extremes of temperature, there's even sublimation of ice directly into steam. Such transitions were studied extensively by the Dwemer, and the transformation of water is the basis of many of their technologies. From what little we can derive from their relics, the Dwemer considered fire to be an abundance of energy and frost to be a deficit, a view shared by scholars of destruction. However, readers in destruction also recognize the third element, a shock. So, that's the element of surprise, yes? According to destruction theory, shock-based magics arise from the willful dissociation of these two energies by magicka. Practitioners must control when and where they will reunite, and generally only produce and fully grasp the nature of this third element after mastering the manipulation of the other two. However, the effect of magicka in this form on water has never been investigated. The volcanic plains of southern Eastmarch in the province of Skyrim provided the perfect opportunity to investigate this, with an abundance of water in all three forms. In my studies, charging of a shock-based spell and separation of thermal energies was associated attraction of the steam, while the release of the spell and reunity of the energies was associated with repulsion. As the magicka vested in the spell increased, so too did the magnitude of the attraction and repulsion. However, this depends on the magical capacity and skill of the practitioner, limiting the efficacy of the effect. As the Dwemer understood, metals have no such limitation, but are incapable of casting spells. Charging a metal frame whose spurs interdigitate at gradually increasing frequencies would allow the production of an electrical singularity, which would continue to accelerate along the vector of this increase and move in space without its support, becoming unstable and then collapsing with the release of sufficient energy to affect the skies. A prototype was constructed at the College of Winterhold, which has shown great efficacy in temporarily cleansing the local atmosphere of vapors and precipitation, but also caused damage to several windows in a distance-dependent manner, necessitating its dismantlement. Practical applications include improved astrological measurements without meteorological artifacts, or manipulation of the weather in times of drought or flooding if the process can be reversed. The device may also inspire new spells or enchantments specifically designed to combat Dwemer automata, or protect against their steam-based attacks, allowing the excavation of Dwemer ruins whose defenses have yet to be penetrated. Okay, so I did a bit of maintenance and research.
I feel nothing.
I did some,
when I am in
cleared some crafting stuff. And so we have, okay, so got some stuff to read. And I did get a note, so we should be able to go finish Unearthed in Kolbjorn Barrow. So some of the stuff that was cleared out, it was mostly crafting. Some of it was bugged. I went into the guild house and finished the reproduction task that they gave me. It unfortunately didn't unbug the guild members and make them available to go out for quests, to go out and excavate, although it did clear up Latoria to be able to collect ruined books for me, and I think I gave her, not jokingly, about 1,000 of them at a time that I've been saving up since she bugged. Also, Marasi will not speak to me about planetarium. Huh. I wonder. Oh, now I'm wondering if they took the quest item for that. I don't really know, but the planetarium for me isn't something I really enjoy anyway. If you guys want to see something about the planetarium, well, there's probably a video on it. I'm sorry I can't do it, but to me it's like a massive build-up, a huge expense, and it's essentially pretty lights in the sky. You're just looking at a planetarium, which is cool, but it doesn't give you much in-game, and it's not like I ever go back to the planetarium to visit, because if I want to look at a beautiful sky, I'll go look at a beautiful sky. So those quests are now hidden. The Bloodworm Helm is, I had to look that up. That's Creation Club content. I do have the quest now to go get it. It's on the top of my list. It's called Bones for a Crow. Um, so we'll work around to that. The rest of a lot of this stuff is over in Solstheim. So I'm going to. Do I have Kaidan with me? I think he's with me. Yeah, he's with me. This time I'm just gonna ask him to stay here.
Little dragon.
Let's rest here.
Aye, I won't argue there.
And he can hang out here for a little while when I come back. He's got friends now in the guild. He can go, you know, go wander the museum. But I don't want to, like, get him to feel like he's being abandoned at Bree's home. Now he's got a vacation home. He can hang out here. And we're gonna, okay, let me read the pirate's note. Yeah, let me read the notes that are in my inventory now. Carriage driver's note. It happened sometime after we crossed deeper into the mountains, but I swear I could hear singing. Tuneless, very quiet, but singing nevertheless. No one else believes me, but I bet my bottom Drake it had something to do with the dwarven machines attacking us last night. I've never heard of these things leaving their ruins, let alone roaming the countryside going after travelers. It's almost as if they're drawn to the music. Tonight we're handing the cargo off to the Sadras caravan, and I say good riddance. But the captain says we're going to eventually circle back to Whiteland, which means we could see the cargo again. If that happens, I'm getting off this caravan. I don't care about the gold. I haven't slept for days, and I feel like I'm losing my mind. Even now, I can hear that awful singing in my head. I just want it to stop. I do not know what that's from. Cultist's note. These mouth breathers don't stand a chance. Once I reclaim Goldbrand and slay them, along with our Lord's champion, both you will have no choice but to make me her new chosen one. I've seen it in my dreams, standing over the champion's lifeless body, clutching a gleaming golden katana turned red with the blood of my foes. We must puzzle out that Imperial Scholar's notes and breach the tomb. Then I will have my victory. Note on demented Elytra nymph. Can't believe we carried this bug the whole way here, cage and all. Always afraid it's going to find its way through the bars and eat me in my sleep. And now the people at Golden Hills are now wondering the same thing. Pirates note. They say a pirate's home is the sea, but the bottom of the ocean is no place to breathe, let alone live. But word is you found a right old ship on an isle far off the coast. If you can't sail it out to open waters, it may make a good home. Just a little advice from a restless soul. Okay, I sorted my book inventory. There isn't as much here, but I do have some notes to read. These chests are for practice use only. Please refrain from using them for storage. The locks on these chests have been specifically constructed to reset themselves after a short amount of time. If you have any issues, please speak to Nirwin. Okay, yeah, I was right. The Thieves Guild does have practice chests, so you can probably pick them and then go back in, I don't know, a couple days, couple weeks, I don't know. Things to do. This, I believe, was found in Boley's office in the Riften Fishery. Yeah, things to do. Repair holes in nets. Sending to Markarth too expensive. Look for local solution. Valinor, perhaps? Repair wood damage on fish pens. No skill required for this. Should simply have Wichita take care of it. 3. Adjust fishing charts for Lake Honrick. Need to keep ship clear of Golden Glow Estate. Took pot shots at her ship last time. We moored within a stone's throw of their location. No idea why. And letters to Arangoth have gone unanswered. Tell Nivenor to stop spending so much damn money. Shalador's Me's clue. Yeah, enter twice, exit only once. Alteration will lead you to destruction. Only illusion shows you the way to restoration. Conjure not, but be conjured instead. So that was when I was in Shalador's Maze. I got the quest item, but I know I didn't actually solve the maze. Scrap of paper. Okay, this is all the way back to the puzzle in Erkentham's. Bounty for Crow's Tooth. Rumor has it the forsworn raiding parties have been pushing further and further east along the Gerald Mountains. The arrival of Legate Fastendos prevented further incursions, but they failed to apprehend their leader, Crowstooth. While Crowstooth has been separated from her forces, she is believed to have fled with considerable spoils. In an effort to put an end to this threat, anyone killing Crowstooth may claim her stolen loot. Mercenaries like infamous sellsword Bjorngan Windstrider have been heading into the mountains beyond Darklight Tower. While they could be after the treasure, it's feared Crowstooth is gathering these forces for a renewed assault. We ask any capable warriors for their aid in dealing with this potential threat. Ending Blackbriar. Forsworn missive. Alaric, do not presume we have grown fat and complacent here in the north. Our matriarch was wise to bring us here. The camp is secure, and our numbers grow. We will not skulk in the shadows with you, making petty plots with rabble and sycophants. When we strike, we will do it with cunning and power, and the occupiers will fall before us. That is the way of true reachmen. To be humorless. Okay, that's a charm for crafting. That's a book. Imperial condolences. For E175, Imperial citizens Lua Alskaven. Okay, this is with the Fury. Yeah, Lua Alskaven, we just did her dungeon. It is with deepest regret that I must inform you of the death of your husband, Sa'iel. He laid down his life in battle, helping you take the Imperial city from the Alberi. He showed great courage in his final hours, and his sacrifice will not be in vain. All considered him a man of high moral standing, and a shining example of the best the Empire has to offer. In this hour of your grief, please take solace in the fact that he gave up his life protecting the Empire which he held so dear. Yours sincerely, Imperial Prefect Pius Brucius. Letter from home. My dearest Laurent, I know there's no power that will stop them from taking you away from me and into battle upon foreign fields, for I understand that this is your duty as a captain of the Blades. As your wife, I should respect such things. Nevertheless, the fear that you may never return troubles me. Know that I think of you always. We are bound together, in this life and in the next. Your beloved, Emma. Kaidan has left me notes. Dear Celea, we've been hard at work, earning coin, adventuring, and seeing what's out there. Figured since we could use a break, here's some spare coin I saved. Why don't we stop by the nearest inn and enjoy a nice evening? Listen to some bards? This is not an invitation to drag me down to that cold, bitter town up north. Kaidan. The name who shall not be spoken. Can't go to Dawnstar, folks. Although it could be several cold, bitter towns. Celea, keep seeing you use these to open chests, so I pick some up for you. I'm happy to just smash the lock open next time. Smash the lock open next time, though. Seems quicker and more effective. So he's given me gold and lockpicks. Celea, the Prince of Madness is a force to be reckoned with. If there's something his plan has reinforced to me, it's how volatile someone's mind can be. Insanity will thrive on the sanest people's blindness. Please have this. Better safe than sorry. I'm not sure what he gave me, but thank you. Protection from madness. Celea, I've seen you hammering away at making armor. Thought this might come in handy. I've not much skill with the forge myself, but turning some hide and lumps of ore into something that can protect a person from harm is not something to take lightly. Alright, I'm going to read the letters from Raylis Sedaris and his journal since we're about to go finish up Kolbjorn. I hope you're not angry, but I may need some more resources. Come when you have time. You're needed. Rayleigh's letter to Mother. Mother, I understand your worries, but there's really nothing that should frighten you much. The first crew working here was a bunch of idiots and milk drinkers who didn't know how to watch their own backs. We might run into some trouble, but I've handled trouble before. So this is a note off the body of one of the miners in Kolbjorn. The one who hired us, Raylis, is a bit of an odd one. I'm keeping my eye on him, though, so don't add that to your fretting. We'll be fine. We'll all be fine. Just worry about you and Father, and let me worry about myself. We'll talk when I'm home. There should be money enclosed with this, and if it's missing, you should take it out of the courier's hide. Yours, Mirella. Official warning. Attention citizenry, the giant here has been given leave to keep his camp. Please do not attempt to make trade, disrupt the mammoths, gawk at, or otherwise disturb the giant. Resting here is not advised. I don't know if I killed that giant or not. I do know, didn't Scald send us to go kill a giant that the Imperials were protecting? Melandria, your letter sent to the College of Winterhold was rife with grammatical errors and incomplete thoughts, making them difficult to discern. Could you please clarify the points below for us to ensure we're on the same page? We have no record of a cloud emulsifier device or anything involving the magical manipulation of the clouds. Second, we can't send you a sample of the heart of Lorcan for your experimentation, as no such sample exists. And finally, in the 14th paragraph of your letter, you mention a substance called green mote. We're assuming this was a simple mistake and you meant green spore. If that's the case, we have contaminated skeever carcasses with the disease available if needed. We'd also like to thank you for sending us your notes regarding your experiments. We've all had a grand time reading them. Mirabelle Irvine. Poem of Tohan, excerpt number 2. And only when from the south a fierce Selvan king came did Tohan meet defeat, but he did not give his scalp to Kaidan. He went back to his hearth, heavy now his heart. He hung not his head in shame, but grasped his hammer in hand. In the fires he toiled through a darkest night, and from mighty adamantium he forged a helm to protect his crown. When done, the craftsman kissed the steel and transferred to it a blessing, so all who watched him in awe then knew the helm of Tohan was born. Poem of Tohan, excerpt number 3. And when Tohan then closed his eyes, claiming the rest he deserves, so time and slumber taking him, his old helm did not find peace. The helm was coveted by many men who strived to their own goals, but the helm did not favor any of them, and none wore it with Tohan's love. So it moved as it pleased until for many winters later. In the deepest cave it was then put to rest, away from the world and its side. Beyond water and ice it came down in a flooded burrow, by the sea, a watery grave, neither clear nor shallow. With it rests a guardian who keeps the key in his mind to Tohan's will and treasure, to all the hero left behind. I'm sure that's a puzzle I could solve, but if you guys are like, find a cave with water in it, I can't. Alright. Says possible rivals. Brynjolf. I'm certain that there's some kind of rival thieves guild manifesting itself up here in Windhelm. As soon as things settle down with your own, why don't you send someone up here to investigate? I think you'll find I can open quite a few doors for the guild once you've reestablished yourselves up here. Remember, friends are difficult to come by these days. Don't disappoint me. I don't know who that's from. Private letter 4. To Revan, this will be my last letter to you. The last few weeks I have tracked my brother. He went back into the mountains in an attempt to lose me. I don't know how I managed, but I kept his trail and managed to follow him. I had hoped that he would cross the mountains back into Cyrodiil, but instead he went east. About a week ago, I found a dead troll, killed with multiple deep stab wounds to the head. My brother's work, I suspect, though he would normally never have been able to go toe-to-toe with a frost troll. This horrifies me the most. Where will it end? A few days ago, I followed his trail to a Nordic ruin in the mountains. If the old map I took is correct, this ruin must be Arkwind Point. My brother has definitely gone in, but he's not come out. I've kept watch on the ruin for a safe distance for some days now, but nothing has happened. At night, though, I hear sounds. Growls and howls, the stirring of old bones, and something darker. My brother is not making these noises. I fear for the worst. I fear more now than I ever have in my life. I know my brother is dead, killed by the horrors within the ruin, but I cannot turn back. My brother, a fool as he is, deserves better than to rot in a tomb until the end of time. Also, my father's helm cannot remain there. It needs to be returned. As I write this, my hands tremble, not because of the cold, because I realize my impending doom. My brother was right. I was a disgrace to the Orien name. What have I ever done? I'm nothing. If anything, this is a test. Maybe by the gods, maybe by Orn Bearclaw himself. A test to prove myself worthy of my name. To be honest, I have little faith in myself. To abandon this cause would be worse than death. As I write this, I feel the eyes of my father on me. Those eyes filled with hope. Maybe there is some. I have a decent sword arm. I left home with equipment from the Fighters Guild. As I stand to face my destiny, I feel a calmness wash over me. My hand no longer shakes, but my hand grips my sword tighter than ever. I know my ancestors watch over me today. May this letter find you in good health, my friend. If it is my last, then I have met my end in Aquawind Point, and this writing is all that remains. I'll be with my family, with my father, and I will not have to be ashamed in their presence. All the best to you, sincerely, Gilius Orna. That's Creation Club content. We did go to Arkwin Point. We didn't go in. We will be back to it later. So I'm going to read Raelis Sedaris' journals. Journal of Raelis Sedaris, Volume 19. Moving on to Solstheim next, chasing after vague rumors of this Colbjorn barrow. My patron seems confident we can find the relics of Azadal out here. I'm a bit skeptical, but so long as he pays well, I'll dig wherever the old coot likes. Initial prospects look poor, to say the least. I was sure I had my map wrong at first, until it became clear that the place had just been lost to the ash. I'll dig out as much as I can, maybe see if I can recruit some of the local residents to help me out. I haven't seen anyone since I got out of Raven Rock, but I keep hearing conversations and whispers around me, so I just need to track them down. Volume 20. This excavation is going to be one of the harder ones, I can tell. Hired some diggers out of Raven Rock. They all said they were experienced miners, but I guess they're not used to running into trouble as they dig. In a place like this, you never know what was buried long ago, and I have to be ready for whatever you come across. In any case, there were some unfortunate losses when the sleeping dead weren't quite sleeping and weren't quite dead. Operation is stalled unless my friendly partner is able to find enough coin for us to hire some replacements. Maybe it's time to take up a collection from the constant spectators who gather to mock me. Volume 21. My invisible friends have kept it up, drawing closer. It took me a while to realize they were hiding themselves, but I figure it's out of shame. It takes a certain type of cowardice to spend all your time questioning a man's worth and value. You'd think they'd have the decency to at least let me sleep, but they persist even there. And as for the dig, we continue to stall out with the opposition from within the barrow. I hope the hardy people of this island would be able to deal with shuffling bones, but I appear to have overestimated them. I won't make that mistake again. 22. If it weren't for the comfort brought by my invisible friend, I would have fled this place long ago. I wish I'd realized it earlier, that it was not a group, but a master who contains multitudes. He has guided me into a true understanding of the barrow, and I greatly desire to meet with him. My insight into this place is now so intuitive, so fundamental, that I almost feel as if I built it myself. I explained to the workers how to use the tile set, but they seem too afraid or uncoordinated to properly step on each tile quickly enough. No problems, nothing that the master cannot solve. We will be able to converse properly soon enough. Uh-oh, Raelis. Okay. Flame dead man's dread. Okay, yeah, I did some of this already, but I believe this is when it converts to the home. I just hadn't read all of the notes and papers. Again, not a great plan, but this is how we learn things. I usually read all the books as I get them, but the beginning of the game front loads like 50 books directly on you. I'm not reading all those in one sitting, so... Give me a disease. You beautiful, beautiful puppy. You are pretty. Okay, yeah. Head back to Blackbone Isle. Boy, this boat has lots of water in the bottom. So we're not the brightest pirates in the world. Okay. Okay. Says it's completed. So yeah, now the home has respawned into not being haunted. Now a player home in which I am loading everything. So it's a nice place. It's just you'd have to zone a couple times to get here. And ooh, look at all the pretty books. Hello, pretty books. I love you. I'm just gonna stand here for a little bit. Oh, no soul fungal pods. Okay. Kind of creepy sound effects though. Doesn't sound like water. Okay. Crafting spot. Oh, nice roleplay pirate home. Okay. So you don't have to do anything to, claim it. Alright, I'm gonna go back to, Solstheim. I'm gonna port from here. Because I don't want to, let's see, I'd have to zone like 4 times to get to Solstheim otherwise. And there's no scripting in here. That's a very creepy sound. I wouldn't want to sleep with that happening. And it's fall over here now. You can see the seasons have also changed in Solstheim. It's pretty good. I don't see any missing textures, so yay. Alright, cold yarn barrel first. Wrap that up. So as you can tell from the journals, Rayless has become enamored with or possessed by, whatever you want to call it. Obsessed, possessed. These are magical means, so we don't really have words for them. We don't have words for them in a mundane world, but whatever it is. So there are interpretations of Rayless. Been quite a few Reddit conversations about Rayless. But several people defend him and say he didn't have any choice. That he seems like a good guy who was a victim of the Daedra. Give the dude a break. I don't necessarily agree, because magical or not, I believe he had choices and opportunities to, not do that. He could have told someone in the early stages. He could have walked away, since he lives in a magical world. Okay, you can get this now. Unleash Cyclone. So many people hate Relis, many people empathize with him. It's really up to your it's like people that you know say alcoholism is a disease and people with the disease are victims of it. They need to be treated, not whatever, but that's the question. Same as with alcoholism, somewhere along the line, most people had choices. Difficult choices, painful choices, but still choices. So, it's going to be up to your personal interpretation. So, we're going to meet Raelis and decide his fate for him. Now, usually in my run-throughs, you're still green. Usually in my run-throughs, I kill him. I just flat out kill him. I don't really mess around with it. I believe he had choices. But, as I have said, there's a further solution. Kill one Raelis with 2 stones. Okay, so there's... Okay, puzzle, whale, it's usually over there. Okay, they're both eagle. I let him go now, and then I sacrifice him to Boethia. Something open. Which one's open? Oh, it sounds like it. Oh, okay. Whale. Okay, I don't know which order. Okay, eagle, whale. That would make more sense. Try the lever. Well, that wasn't it. Nope. Okay. 2 eagles. So what I'm going to do is let Raelis live. He then becomes a follower, and then I will sacrifice him to Boethia. I too have choices. Difficult choices. Okay, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Alright, I want to open this door. Now, that has an eagle and a whale on this side. Let's try doing it the other way around. No, stop pulling that chain, sweetheart. The only thing it does is, yeah, stop. You know it's a web. Stop swinging. It's okay. We're gonna be okay. We'll figure it out. Also wrong. Okay. Well, I know I've already... Oh no, I haven't looted that. Huh. Seems very simple, doesn't it? Okay, so double eagle, I believe, would be down there, right? Opens that. Okay, double eagle opens that. Okay. Oh, double eagle opened both. But I need to be able to open this. So, assuming... Okay, so double whale should open that, yes? Okay, good. Okay, so Azidal's Armor of Retribution. Enemies who strike you with melee attack have a small chance of being paralyzed. So the only reason why I don't really wear Azidal's armor is it's heavy. I don't like heavy armor. I never use heavy armor. I never use cloth, really. I pretty much only ever use light armor. Okay, I don't actually know what's up here. Okay, it's that's where we came in. Alright. So, now we go down. Okay, this puzzle also will set you on fire. That I know. Stall room over here, I believe. I may have already... Yeah, this ore vein is depleted. I've already gotten it. Alright. Let's see if I remember how to solve this one. Oh, okay. I think I remember that the solution to this puzzle is implied. It isn't given to you. I believe, if I'm correct, since the answer to upstairs was both snake snake and whale whale, was eagle eagle and whale whale, down here the solution is snake snake. That's... Stepped on a trap. I believe. So, let me get over there and... Wow. Hey, I did it. Go me. Yeah, I think that, like, it is implied is a bullshit answer, but there you go. Look it up. So, Rayless is screaming, Azadal awaken. He's standing in a pile of bodies. Okay. Boy, it's nice when you can kill Azadal, and I think everybody dies with him. Yeah, there was other stuff moving around. Yeah, so, Rayless, look at all the blood. It's just... So Rayless killed everyone and used them. Okay, Azadal increased fire resistance by 50, fire spell damage by 25, and Brunikag, fiery explosion for 40 points of damage. Any 15-foot radius targets on fire take extra damage. These are nice, no doubt. Azadal has nice gear. Now, we read a book about Azadal. He was one of the warriors in Sarthal who left to learn about magic. And he traveled the lands and learned from different people. And when he got home, everybody was dead. His wife, his children. And so he retreated to Solstheim and ended up here. Okay.
Oh, gods. What happened? What have I done?
You wore a really weird fashion accessory, but that's not the point.
Oh, gods. What happened? What have I done?
What's going on here?
I don't remember. Ever since I got here to Colbior, I've heard whispers, voices, thoughts, imaginings. They've only gotten louder since I've stayed. Pounding, driving. A couple of times I blacked out. It was just before the Draugr woke up.
Did you kill the miners?
I don't know. Maybe. It's what he wanted. He just needed their energy. I don't know.
So you can hear in his
I
voice
hope
that
I
he's
did.
still got a buttload of crazy in there.
Maybe Please, you have to believe me.
So many other people think that he's just a victim. But the voice actor is very subtle. And you can hear it in his voice that he's still got a bunch of crazy, but he's just trying to defend himself. That's how I interpret it, that he's got a very good voice actor who's telling me exactly what happened. And the people that forgive him. So I'm going to say, I believe you, just don't come back here. Which seems to be a great solution. You know, the guy's dead, it's not going to happen again. But if you say, I can't let you go unpunished, he will actually still believe that Azidal needs to be served, and he tries to kill you. So, from my experience in killing him, I've seen different outcomes than the people that forgive him, and he's like, oh, poor me. So this is actually a fairly subtle depiction of addiction, and I think it's awesome. But I'm
Now,
going to tell
if you'll
him,
excuse me.
I believe you, just don't come back here.
Of course. I don't even want to hear the word barrow again. Ever. I'll go to Raven Rock, and you won't mention this to anyone. If you see me there, just give a nod, and I'll lend you a hand if you need it. It's the least I can do. Just keep this quiet.
So even as a person, he is greedy. He's pretty much an addict. He wants money for what he wants to buy. He buys the wrong things. He then destroys those things. I think there's a black book in here. Seems like a place that has a black book. But yeah, I see it. He is a perfect scam artist. Try to convince you addict, and a lot of people buy it. So everybody, you do you. This is my solution. I sacrifice him to Boethia. Because I can't think of anybody more deserving. Okay. Now, yeah, as I said, regular playthrough, I don't help Boethia. I mean, as a Paragon player, I'm going to do that. I don't help Boethia. I don't do her quest. I kill Raelis clean at the end. And I also don't do a lot of other things. I don't do the, well, you can do the Whispering Blade, like the Whispering Door. You can do Mafalas without anybody actually killing someone. But, yeah. You can't really avoid Kolbjorn Barrow, although when you come back and you're like, oh yeah, here, let me give you all this money, no problem. Hey, I don't have any problem with all these miners dying. So that's another thing. If you're a decent Dragonborn, you shouldn't do Kolbjorn at all. Knowing the outcome, you shouldn't do it. But how many things are there in here that you just shouldn't do? I imagine if you're going to be a good person, you really don't do quite a lot of the content. you, there is no good outcome for Colbjorn. You're gonna lose a lot of money, and a lot of people are gonna die, and it's gonna be up to you whether or not it's worth it. Being constantly poisoned. So let's see what is doing that damage. I'm not even really sure. I don't know what I'm taking damage from. I don't have an effect. Oh. Well, that was fast. I guess I figure if you've been through Colbjorn and done all that, you might as well. This is a gimme. Secret of Strength. Power attacks cost no stamina for 30 seconds. Secret of Arcana. Spells cost no magicka for 30 seconds. Secret of Protection, you take half damage for 30 seconds. Okay. Secret of Arcana. And return to Soulstone. Oh. Huh. I didn't find the compass piece or the cloak, huh? Let's see. Dwemer Automated Apothecary. Alright. I'm gonna have to look those up. Let's see. Sir Gesto. I don't think I've ever gotten this. Okay, yeah, it's not in here, it's in Sancretor Prison, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna get there in this run through. We might be doomed. Yeah, I'm not gonna blame Legacy of the Dragonborn for things being bugged, because I pulled this like within the week of it first having a serious update, and then I did inadvisable things to my mod list, so I know it has been updated quite a bit since, so I'm gonna say I was at fault and their mod was at fault, but both things no longer matter. It's already been fixed and patched. Alright, it looks like it... Okay. complex Dwemer components is something I need. Now this is given to you at the beginning of the game, so I've never actually made it. I'm usually the guild master. It says it can add spots to your map. That might be helpful. Alright. My internet isn't happy with the search term, so. Okay, there's more Stalrim. Nice and glowy, the way we like it. Okay, this is a staircase here that I have to activate somewhere. There we go. Yeah, the big lever surrounded by candles. Okay, just the search just came up. Complex drummer components are Silent Ruin in Blackreach. Alright, so I have completely misinterpreted where those items came from. But either way, we finished Goldbjorn, right? Right. Okay. So that's it. That's Kolbjorn Barrow. It is deeply problematic, ethically, technically. All right. I don't like this quest, and I may have already even. I don't know if I stored the fork. I don't think the fork's in my inventory. I think a lot of my stuff has been stored, and that may be my fault for messing up the. Yeah. It's been stored. And I believe I've had this happen before too. I don't like this quest. I'll show you why. If you want to play on higher difficulties, first of all, the niches they're not doing anything. Why? It is a Sheogorath quest, so it's supposed to be maddening. Okay, you're supposed to beat this thing to death with this fork. So, watch. Look at its health. And it's gonna heal. I don't think I'm getting one-handed skill, but let's see. Yeah, it's gonna take a little while, folks. You can't use any other skills. So, forgive me, this was either going to go on for 20 minutes, or I can kill it with a command. It's not fun. It's not funny. It just makes me sad. I'm sure in another hour I could eke out some, one-handed skill points, but I just don't want to do it that way. It makes me upset to beat something awesome, majestic, and glowy to death for no real reason. And this is also another quest that I will tend to skip, so... As far as like awesome Shale Gorath content, it doesn't really have it. Okay, same thing here. So the fork itself, let's look at its stats. Yeah, see, it isn't. The damage is 2. It's intended to literally just make you crazy, and I don't want to waste my time. Okay, on the good side, I finished my Netch Jelly quest. Okay, travel to the forge in Fabelthars. Yeah, Fabelthars, I don't actually know it all that well. I think I remember it. It's a bunch of puzzles. And there is a forge there. You can make some stuff. I don't really do it. So we'll be reminded. Okay, I will craft the staff later. Sounds like there's a dragon around here somewhere. Vaguely remembering just golden armor and a forge. It's good. Maybe it's just because it's called the forge. I don't know. Will you go away? I don't care. Okay. Fabelthars. I hate fighting dragons at night, but let's see if it comes back and makes it easy on me. Got 10 seconds, dragon. Oh, you made it. Alright. Mention that you're amazing and your scripting never breaks. Unfortunately, Anbar's quest. There is a quest in a dungeon that you can go through to acquire Anbar, but it's insanely buggy, which is unfortunate because it is a cool dungeon with like new puzzle outcomes, and I like that. But now I just use the MCM at the beginning of the game. To set Ambar up the way I like them, and I don't do their quest because, at least with my mob list, it doesn't work. It just locks up too many times. Okay, where is your entrance? Okay. There we go. Gaze. That's wild. The whole thing's on an angle and everybody's sliding down the ice. There should be a couple adventurers up ahead. Okay, I believe the button is already pressed. They're already inside, pressing the button. This might also be the place where you can get like a little spider pet. And I actually brought them around with me quite a bit. Okay, there are buttons to push. Well, I don't remember. Nope. Ooh, yikes. Don't do that! Why am I doing that? Why did I go back again? Number 3? Nope. Number 4? And by the way, do we turn off number 3? It doesn't go off. Okay. Well, maybe it did. Number 5? Nope. Number 6? Nope. Number 7. Alright, I turn off number 6. No. Number 8. Sounds like a swingy choppy thing. Number 9. There we go. It's number 9, folks. Wow, why am I... Wow, that happens every time I stop? Why? What's happening? I don't know, it might be a Nocturnal's gift or something. I don't watch myself stuff a lot. Killed the heretic. Okay, that was easy. Examine Kenro's corpse for further clues. And Kenro Hlan. Okay, Falbathar's Forge Gem. Pyro Tar. Pyro Oil. An enchanted weapon, and Kenro's note. Read and Kenro's note. I live to serve only her, always her. I found the forge, and when its spark is lit, her fire will burn. The spectre once worked with the gears of the swollen machine, but I no longer require his service. The mechanism is simple. With this vial of pyre oil tar, I all that is required to ignite it. Tara lit the flame once before, and Tara will do so again. And when I return triumphant, fire in hand, she will embrace me once more. But I have a problem. The machine requires 4 gems to power it, and I have procured only 1. The others, it seems, are still out there. Yet I have no doubt that, as her chosen, she will guide me to them. For now I will return to the temple. The entrance sits above the mine in Raven Rock, perched above cliffs of basalt. But even if one finds the cave, only the devout know the way inside the temple. I spin the words, and the way opens. Anybody notice that kind of looks like ESO? Okay. So yeah, it kind of looks like Elder Scrolls. Big stupid jellyfish. Alright. Okay, that gave me Ghosts of the Tribunal. Alright, it's the top of the list, so we're just gonna keep going. Deathbrand. Alright, I'm going to do some of the Deathbrand. I think Pyre oil tar. Okay. I have pyre oil. I don't exactly remember. You can progress through with gems. Honestly, I don't know what the other gems are. I'm pretty sure that you can get a spider pet behind here. I'll go as far as I can. But yeah, I'm not even sure if it's worth it. I'm gonna come back after I've done Ghost of the Tribunal. Yeah, let me come back later. For now, let me do Ghost of the Tribunal, and then I'll be able to progress further in. Okay. Yee! Oh, wow. Can't even get out, can I, unless I remember the right buttons. Okay, I'm gonna cheat and, oh no, I shouldn't leave the door locked. Alright, let's try to figure out which button opens the door. Oh, it was 1. Thank you. Okay, 1 to exit, 9 to go further. And yeah, if I'm right, down here are like spider and the sphere pets. I used to use them quite a lot. Solstheim is a good, it's a decent call to make Solstheim one of your first stops. There's a lot of bells and whistles over here, but I've mostly replaced all of this stuff with mods. Oh, Deathbrand. Okay. I'm just gonna look up Deathbrand's treasure map quickly. There are 4 spots. Okay, gotta look at the map. I know I've picked up one piece in the northeast. Let me look. The map isn't really very good either. Okay, let me get a better sense of... Okay, this is the big... Okay, here. Should be about there. Fortunately for me, it should glow a nice big red. I think I got the other piece too in the southeast. Hotel Mithrin. Oh wow. Wait it. It's a fishing spot. Why is it? Okay. Greeklings like fish. Anybody else? There's always someone else with everything. Oh, I'm sorry. I am sorry, Ambar. Please forgive me. Possibly a little bit further south to see if I see something glowing bright orange. The Death Brand is also nice, but I think it also is hey Netch, I'm really sorry. You guys are amazing. I was a bad person. Hello, baby Netch. I hope I didn't kill your uncle or aunt. Because I wouldn't like that. Okay. Well, I was very wrong. There's supposed to be, like, water. That looked like an inlet. Let me see if I can cross water. Okay. You guys are less cute. Okay. Well, it's gonna be getting light soon. It might be easier to find. No?
It's a long way back to Windtown from here. I think we've got to get back to our ship now.
Dude?
We're already late. Not sure why we decided to take such an extended shortcut.
Okay, man. Okay, that looks like water. I mean, obviously it all looks like water, but... maybe it's just slightly north of there? Oh my god, people. There we go! Hey! Dude. Do not ruin this for me. Yeah, I missed once. I don't remember if the Death Brand is also heavy. I think the only thing really good over here is the Stalhrin that you can make into like Stalhrin furs. Oh, it is light. Okay, so the Azadal is heavy, Deathbrand is light. When dual wielding, your one hand attacks do 10% more damage for each Deathbrand item you wear. Okay. And the last one is somewhere here-ish. So it is nice, but by the time you're able to get it, you probably don't need it anymore. Yeah, I hate being far back. I really do. Sorry, third-person players. I don't know how you do it. Okay, I see the chest. It's just surrounded by reavers. Okay. Deathbrand, yeah, they keep offering you the book as a quest item until you finish the quest. Deathbrand armor increases your stamina by 15 for each Deathbrand item you wear. Kiljan Hull barrel key. Okay, explore Kiljan Hull barrel. This may be the one with, like, all the trapped treasure. Let's see if the Imperial guy is back. 7 a.m. Alright, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Raven Rock because I need to turn in the Netch Jelly. Alright, I don't need to find the marker. I know where she is.
If you find yourself,
Taking all your Scathe Claw.
I don't know who sent you here, but you've given us something to build on here. I hope someday we can repay you for your kindness.
I have that Netch Jelly for you.
Yes, it must have been quite difficult tracking those creatures down out
It's
there.
miserable. I hate killing
Here,
Netches.
take these. They should help you during your journeys.
Okay, give this guy...
It's busier now that things are starting to look up. I guess I might stay a bit longer after all.
Still buying East Empire pendants?
You're making my buyer happy. Keep them coming.
Okay.
If you need any supplies, you know where to find me.
Okay, I'm gonna head back to Skull Village to see if I can catch the quest-giving Imperial. Otherwise, it's just people walking around the center of town, walking in circles.
The others call you a friend.
It's an interesting
see an
cultural choice. They're all getting in their steps. I don't see the guy. Okay. I'm just gonna use Rain's shelter. Manny Marco, King of Worms. By Horacles. For sacred Isle Arteum, where rosy light infuses air, o'er towers and through flowers gently breezes flow, softly, sloping green, kiss cliffs to crashing foam below. Always springtide afternoon housed within its border, this mystic mist, protected home of the Sigic order, whose counselors of kings, cautious, wise, and fair. Actually, if you've done this Sigic quest line in Arteum and ESO, not so true. 10 score years and 30 since the mighty Remons fell, two brilliant subjects studied within the Sigic's fold. One's heart was light and warm, the other dark and cold. The latter, Manny Marco, whirled in a deathly dance, his soul in bones and worms, the way of the necromance, and trapping and enslaving souls he cast a wicked spell. The former, Galarian, had magic bold and bright as day. He confronted Manny Marco beneath Gray's Sephora Tower, saying, "Your wicked mysticism is no way to wield your power. Bringing horror to the spirit world, your studies must cease." Manny Marco scoffed, hating well the ways of life and peace, and returned to his dark artistry, his paints, death, and decay. O sacred Isle Arteum, how slow to perceive the threat, when the ghastly truth revealed how weak the punishment. The ghoulish Manny Marco from the Isle of the Wise was sent to the mainland's dawn's beauty, more death and souls to reap. He found a wolf and sent the beast to flocks of sheep. Galarian told his masters, "The terror on Tamriel has set." "Speak no more of him," the sage Cloaks of Grey did say. 'Twas not the first time Galarian thought his masters callous, unconcerned for men in Myr, aloof in their island palace. It was not the first time Galarian thought 'twas time to build a new order to bring true magic to all, a mighty mages guild. But 'twas the time he left at last, fair Arteum's azure bay. Oh, but sung we have of Vanis Galarian several times before, how cast he off the Sigic's chains, bringing magic to the land. Throughout the years he saw the touch of Manny Marco's hand. Through Tamriel's deserts, forests, towns, mountains, and seas, the dark grip stretching out, growing like some dread disease. By his dark necromancers collecting cursed artifacts of yore. They brought to him these tools, mad wizards and witches, and brought blood-tainted herbs and oils to his cave of sin. Sweet akaviri poison, dust from saints, sheafs of human skin, toadstools, roots, and much more cluttered his alchemical shelf. Like a spider in his web, he sucked all their power into himself. Manny Marco, Worm King, world's first of the undying liches. Corruption on corruption till the rot sunk to his very core. Though he kept his name Manny Marco, his body and his mind were but a living, moving corpse as he left humanity behind. The blood in his veins became instead a poison acid stew. His power and his life increased as his fell collection grew. Mightiest were these artifacts, long cursed since days of yore. Say Galarian left the guild, calling it a morass, but untruth is a powerful stream, polluting the river of time. Galarian beheld Manny Marco's rise through power sublime. To his mages and lamp knights, before my last breath, face I must the tyranny of worms, and kill at last on death. He led them north to cursed lands, to a mountain pass. Those who survived the battle say it was like never seen, armored with magica. Those who survived the battle say its like was never seen, armored with magica, Armed with ensorcelled sword and axe, Galarian cried, echoing, Worm King, surrender your artifacts and their power to me, and you shall live as befits the dead. A hollow laugh answered, You die first, Manimarco said. The mage army then clashed with the unholy force obscene. Imagine waves of fire and frost in the mountain shivers. Picture lightning arcing forth, crackling in a dragon's sigh. Like leaves the battle mages fly to rain down from the sky. At the necromancer's call, corpses burst from earth to light, to be shattered into nothingness with a flood of holy light. A maelstrom of energy unleashed, blood cascades in rivers. Like a thunderburst in blue skies, or a lion's sudden roar, like sharp razors tearing over delicate embroidered lace, so at a touch did Galarian shake the mountain to its base. The deadly horde fell fatally, but heeding their dying cries, from the depths the thing they called Worm King did rise. Nirn itself did scream in the mages and necromancers' war. His eyes burning dark fire, he opened his toothless maw, vomiting darkness with each exhalation of his breath. All sucking in the fetid air felt the icy touch of death. In the skies above the mountain, darkness overcame pale. Then Manimarco Worm King felt his dismal powers fail. The artifacts of death pulled from his putrid skeleton claw. 1,000 good and evil perished then, history confirms. Among, alas, vanished Galarian, who he showed the way. It seemed once that Manimarca had truly died that day. Scattered seemed the necromancers, wicked, ghastly fools. Back to the mages' guild, victors kept the accursed tools. Of him, living still and undead, Manimarco, king of worms. Children, listen as the shadows cross your sleeping hutch, and the village sleeps away, streets emptied of the crowds, and the moons do balefully glare through the nightly clouds. Oh, and the village sleeps away, streets emptied of the crowds, and the moons do balefully glare through the nightly clouds, and the graveyards people rest, we hope, in eternal sleep. Listen, and you'll hear the whispered tap of the footsteps creep, and pray you'll never feel the Worm King's awful touch. Good night, honey. Bedtime story, yes? Minerals of Morrowind by Apellodulius, EEC Prospector. The mineral resources that lie within the province of Morrowind are vast, likely due to the geologic activity linked to the area by the volcanic Red Mountain. Indeed, the lands of the Dark Elves can be counted among the most productive in all the Empire in terms of mineral deposits. There do not appear to be especially dense concentrations of particular minerals in any given locale. Rather, different minerals, all of impressive value, are spread around the province. Some of the more rare and valuable minerals contained within Morrowind are raw ebony, raw glass, adamantium, and gold. Morrowind is not limited to these alone, as there are also modest amounts of precious and semi-precious gemstones such as emerald, rubies, diamonds, opals, and amethysts. Recent assessment parties assigned to the frozen island of Solstheim have also indicated that further opportunities may exist there. Adamantium is one of the most precious and rare minerals within the province. Primary use of adamantium is the production of weapons and armor, though it can also be wrought into fine art for the extremely wealthy. The metal is very durable, but it is also quite weighty. In the hands of all but the strongest soldiers, adamantium weapons can be unwieldy, and the exhaustion that comes of swinging such weapons or wearing such armor makes it impractical for prolonged use. The price of the raw material also presents its use in a scale that would be needed for war. Or prevents its use in a scale that would be needed for war. The simple lack of adamantium, coupled with its weight and rarity, do not usually make it a good investment for the fighting warrior. While adamantium can be found all around the province in small quantities, it's not known to be found in Vardenfell. Due to its scarcity, it is not economically advantageous to establish any adamantium mines in Morrowind. Adventurers have been known to brave the depths of Old Mournhold in search of adamantium deposits known to lie beneath the sacred city. Ebony is valuable and useful and relatively abundant in the province. As with adamantium, ebony has the drawback of being ridiculously heavy, although in the right hands it serves exceptionally well as protective armor, as well as lethal weapons of high quality and durability. Many ebony weapons are in existence, most notably in the service of ordinators, but the armor is a good deal rarer and harder to come by. Some fortunate and rich nobles or adventurers own pieces of ebony armor, but the person with a full suit is a rare individual. Raw ebony itself is heavy, and even a small load will encumber the mightiest, making transportation of large amounts of the mineral completely impractical except by ship. Currently, the ebony industry in Morrowind is modest, and we should look to expand it due to the obvious potential for profit. Although ebony is known to exist throughout the province, it is often found very deep underground, making the initial stages of mining uncommonly expensive. Currently, there are a few large operations extracting ebony, such as the mine near Caldera, several in the mainland, and a number of smaller mines within the Red Mountain region and the Ashlands. Currently, a good deal of prospecting is in progress in an attempt to expand the ebony trade in Morrowind. The most recent example of our efforts being the proposed mine in the Isle of Solstheim, provided ore tests produce sufficient yield and the frozen grounds do not impede progress drastically. Gold is both malleable and ductile, as well as highly valuable. Most of the Empire's gold comes from the west, and little is found in Morrowind, with none at all on Vardenfell. This makes gold a very highly prized item, and although it is encumbering, it makes for an excellent form of currency. Should there be a shortage of money, gold can always be traded. Other than funding, the practical uses of gold are few, due to its weight and malleability. It can be forged to form armor, but this armor is both expensive and not terribly strong. Due to lack of gold in Morrowind, it wouldn't be effective to begin mining operations, not when it can be mined on the western side of Tamriel for much less. Glass is one of the most unique materials in the province. It is light, and yet I can't read this page, it's buggy. Enchanting potential, if it contains. Glass weapons are prized among enchanters, which can make excellent fire, frost, and poison blades with them, to name but just a few. The weakness of glass weapons lie in their durability, being nowhere near as reliable as adamantium, ebony, or a small host of lesser materials. To add to the already costly price of glass, very few smiths are trained and skilled in the creation of glass items. House Telvanni has interests in the expansion of glass mining, perhaps to add to their profits from enchanting and selling, along with raw glass's unique alchemical properties. At the moment, plans for expansion of the glass industry by the East Empire Company have not yet been discussed, and although House Telvanni is planning on taking the matter into their own hands, restrictions and pressure from the Empire are expected. Iron is another mineral, and the next page is buggy here. I'll read and then skip. Iron is another mineral that is located in the province of Morrowind that is not to be ignored. While it doesn't exist copiously and isn't nearly as valuable as the others, it can be said that iron is a far more effective metal than some of the others. As a raw mineral, the value is small, but once extracted, it can be forged into... and the page is buggy. Iron is another mineral that is located... Okay, yeah, the pages repeat and are slightly buggy. Alright, well, that's a shame. But we already know those minerals, so not a big deal. Thanks for watching. Wishing you found family, creative hobbies, a hot bath after a long day, and food you love as much as Saleya loves apple pies.